I'm shouting out to Put It in the Air podcast. You heard what I'm saying? And my big bro, Big Eight. What's up, bro? We in this thing, man.
What up, what up, what up? Man, it's your boy Big 8, man. Put It in the Air podcast coming to you live. You hear me? We're going to get rid of this for the day because that shit be getting in my motherfucking way. Y'all got to see this face. Hey, man, what's up, man? It's Big 8, man. Put It in the Air podcast. Thanks for tapping in, man. We got a tragic situation, man, that we finna get into. We're not going to spend too much time on it, but we're going to give y'all some factual information, man. Rest in peace to PNB Rock. I hate that happened to you, homie. That's ugly, man. But listen, man, before we get too deep into it, let's go and get this ritual kicked off. You feel me? Shouts out to my guys at Pirate Ship Radio, Mac June TV, all that good shit. You hear me? We finna to light this little pre-roll up, man. We got one. We got a shorty today. We got a little shorty. You know how it be, man. As long as it work, man. The rest of that shit don't matter, man. We not doing no capping. Shouts out to Mac June TV. I want to say shout out to Yuck Mouth and Cujo from Goody Mouth for showing us love at the Oklahoma Cannabis Awards. That video will be dropping tomorrow, so make sure y'all tap into that. Also, don't forget we got late night vibes tonight at 10 o'clock. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we getting into that tonight. And we got some interesting shit to talk about on late night vibes. But dig this though, man. PNB Rock was murdered in a robbery attempt the other day. Very unfortunate situation. I hate that happened to him. Matter of fact, before we get to talking about it, let's get into some factual information. I'm finna run this clip for y'all.
At about 1:15 p.m., Southeast Patrol officers responded to the 100 block of Manchester Avenue for a robbery that just occurred. When they arrived, they found a male suffering gunshot wounds, and that male was then transported to the hospital. What occurred was that the victim, along with a female witness, were in this area eating at a restaurant when they were approached by at least one suspect who brandished a firearm and demanded property from the victim. The suspect then shot the victim multiple times and removed property and then left the location in a getaway car. The getaway car fled in an unknown direction. We don't know where the vehicle went. Officers then were able to close down the scene until we could find out what the status of the victim is. I'm sorry to say that the victim has been pronounced deceased at 13:59 hours today. South Bureau Homicide is working this case, as are many other detectives. The victim was sitting at a table eating with a female witness when he was approached by the suspect. The suspect then brandished a firearm and demanded his property. We don't have the audio as to what the exact verbal exchange was at that time. The suspect then fired multiple rounds and then appears to remove some property. To what extent,
man,
we
that's
don't
the playback from the news clip from the robbery and murder of PNB Rock. First off, I want to start off before we get into this shit and say rest in peace to PNB Rock and condolences to the family. Of course, we don't want to see anybody slain. You know what I'm saying? But it's even crazier when it's one of our prestige entertainers. entertainers. You know what I'm saying? Being murdered in public like that, like it's crazy. Like we live in some crazy times today, and I don't think people really give it, you know what I'm saying, credit for what it is. Like we really stay in some crazy times today. Do you know how many rappers just in the last just this year, let's say that let's make it even more broad. Just this year been murdered. Like this is crazy, bruh. Like I talked to a few people about it, and pretty much what they were saying is rappers need to invest in security. If you don't have security, all that trying to be tough and trying to be hard and trying to have a certain perspective from people image wise, and not buying security, like, it's retarded. Like, we have to do better. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes no sense for this man to have on a $300,000 chain and not have $10,000 worth of security. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's even if you're not a gangster rapper. That's even if, because I'm not really familiar with PNB Rock's music. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what his content about, but from what I heard, he didn't even have gangster content. He wasn't out here talking about how many bodies he caught. From what I hear, I don't know. I'd have to listen to some stuff. But I'm just saying, like, and he moved from Philadelphia to change his life, to get away from the type of things that he was surrounded with, the environment that he grew up in, the rough stuff that he knew about, the things that he experienced over the years. He moved to California to get away. But the crazy thing is, there's a lot of crazy shit happening in California right now. Quando Rondo's people just got smoked in California. You know what I'm saying? Sauce Walker just had to deal with a situation in California. And then a couple days later, PNB Rock, now he dealing with a situation in California. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Like, y'all got to have security, and security don't need to just be your homeboys. Pay for some security, man. Man, on Clubhouse, man, Whack 100, he said that they was finna approach 50 about that beef with him and Game, I'm assuming. And he was like, they was deep. They 20, 30 deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, they deep. He said, man, they bent the corner to try to get at 50, and 50 was surrounded by Call of Duty looking niggas. Like, and you know, just out of respect, 50 is street nigga for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, he out there. Well, he was. Shouts out to 50 Cent for changing his life, man. They say 50 was a wild boy back in the day. You know what I'm saying? When he was active. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? If he's intelligent enough to know he need to be protected and protected by professionals, he invested in that. You know what I'm saying? All the things that these people invest in. Why would you go spend all that money on a necklace? All that money on a ring and some glasses and a chain and some shoes and an outfit. You'll go spend all that money to be seen but unprotected. There ain't nothing gangster about that shit. That shit is suicidal. I'm just saying. And then, like, people beef about the stupidest stuff. Man, I told one of my partners, man, he started to get a lot of attention in the entertainment business and stuff, but he was still dealing with streets. I'm like, bro, you got to leave that shit alone. You can't be out here exposed to the public like that and doing the type of stuff that you think you finna be doing. You got to change. Because if not, you're going to make yourself a target. You know what I'm saying? Like, your reputation is going to follow you. Like, you can't get away from that. Anybody that didn't know me, that ended up knowing me, my reputation followed me. But with my reputation following me, I could still give an example of this is who I am today. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter. You still got people that be like, man, I remember whoop. And then it's still some shit in the game. But it's just something you got to deal with. But 50 was smart enough to pay for their security. Shout out to 50 Cent, man. Real talk. Like, real niggas pay attention to real nigga moves, man. And that's just the truth. Like, some people do something and I just instantly be like, oh, that's some sucker shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even finna. You know what I'm saying? But it's some shit you be like, I never thought of that. I can dig that. I respect it. You know what I'm saying? And having security when you worth that much money, bro, you like a walking Ferrari. Why wouldn't a nigga want to rob you? Nigga, people is going through it out here. You got pandemic, you got them scaring people with monkeypox, motherfuckers scared about a war and shit. Like, it's all kind of shit, COVID. Like, it's all kind of shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what these people be suffering from. So they, you know, you go out there unprotected, man. You fool. You got to be smarter than that, man. And that's not speaking on his situation specifically. That's just in general. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how much his chain was worth. I don't know how much he was worth. I know he was worth some money, you know. And then another thing, social media, man. And I'm not saying this is the reason why his situation happened. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you have to be careful with social media. Social media can be your best friend, and then it can be showing pictures of you laying dead in the shot on the ground all at the same time. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful. Locations be on. People not stupid. If you in town and niggas is knowing you in town, you in town. You typically not in town. Well, I mean, he moved there. But that's even worse. You not just in town for the night. Nigga, you stay here. You should be tucked in at the house having people go pick up stuff for you. Like all that public display of affection and all that doing public stuff, unless it's gonna be other people there that's worth about as much money as you are, it's safe to or take security. If you gonna go somewhere out there and just be kicking it like that, you need to have a security at the door, one at the corner, two in the building, one at the table next to you. You need to be protected because you don't know. You don't know who paying attention to you and want to take something from you. That's just with any civilian in general. People get robbed all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's just significant that this is PNB Rock that got robbed. And unfortunate that it happened the way it did. They tried to rob Sauce Walker. That's what he went through. Now the other stuff became super political after a while, but for the most part, Sauce Walker was a robbery attempt. After some other shit. All in the same line, that's crazy. A nigga tried to do some other shit, got into it with a nigga. That's crazy. Ran into some other shit, and then got shot. It's crazy. We gotta do better, y'all. That's the basis of what I'm saying. We gotta do better. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we have fun on the podcast. It's serious. Late Night Vibes is so cool. We be kicking it. And now we got Smurf back on the show. You know what I'm saying? So he be tapped in with the Late Night Vibes. Man, we talk about everything. We discuss all kind of stuff. So if you ain't tapped into Late Night Vibes, make sure you tap into Late Night Vibes, man. Matter of fact, we having it tonight at 10 p.m., which this is Tuesday. It's Tuesday? Yeah, it's Tuesday. My days be running into each other, y'all. But yeah, every Tuesday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night at 10 p.m. Central Time. You know what I'm saying? We get on there as a group and we vibe. We just talk about whatever people want to talk about. Now, like tonight, I got a few specific topics I want to bring up in the chat. You know what I'm saying? To chop it up with the people about. But for the most part, I mean, we be on there like 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes longer than that. Depending on the way it's going. You feel me? So it's all about how we vibing. I mean, if we pack that room and we keep firing off, we can go as long as we need to go. It ain't no big deal. You know what I'm saying? That's the cool thing about being your own boss. You can kind of, maneuver some things. You feel me? But yeah, man, put it in the air podcast signing off, man. I'm going to say this last thing. This is really the last one for real. Don't think so much about today. Think about next year. Think about the future. Try to plan for the future. Because if you worry about what's going on right now, you'll forget something and miss something. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be caught lacking. Just really. You don't. And there's so many people out here lacking. Y'all rap, y'all, especially a lot of rappers, man. Y'all rap about the most gangsterous shit, man. Y'all rap about some crazy shit sometimes. And we know we all experience stuff. But when did we get away from going about talking about the crazy shit and then celebrating that the crazy shit is over? Like, that shit done got too gangster. Damn. Shit. Anyway, man, I love y'all. Make sure y'all tap into Late Night Hype. Late Night Vibes. I'm fucking up the name. Yeah, make sure y'all tap into Late Night Vibes. It's going down tonight, man. Shout out to Pirate Ship Radio. That's my guy, man. Mac June. That's my guy, man. Also, everybody else on that grind, man. Trey Fox, I see you. I see you. I see you. We in some of the same groups. I see you, boy. I see you. Put it in the Air magazine. You know, that's available online. I actually got it to where I can start showing some of the magazine on the podcast. So be tuned. Stay tuned. We might do this a completely different way from now on. Then it'll be easier for me to keep up with the current event. It's so much shit happening today, man. Like, until you get into journalism, you don't understand how much work journalism is. Like, this shit is some real live work, for real. I'm with it, though, man. I'm in it for the long haul. You hear me? Put it in the Air podcast, signing off, man. I love y'all, man. Tap into Late Night Vibes.
You doing your mouth, put it in the Air podcast, nigga. Keep it logged in and keep vibing. Da-da-da.